Good afternoon, everybody, for the 6th edition of the Chiefs Financial Podcast. Today we have the third chief.
I made it finally.
Finally! It's like, yeah, we were hiding. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Jared.
I try not to work.
Yes, well, Jared
Except
is
for
a very...
Stampede Week.
Yes.
I work at Stampede Week. Yes.
Exactly. And of course, Jared, we're going to go through the very first thing that we always do is we like to go through what the Chiefs stand for.
What do they stand for?
Well, today, Cowboys, but really it's Calgarians. C for Calgarians. H for...
Hospitable.
Hospitable. It's
Very
a stampede. It's a hospitable time of the year for
It
us.
is.
Yes. We're inviting.
We are inviting.
Exactly. We're a little bit,
Eclectic.
yeah, just a touch, but we're always financial.
Fools.
Excellent. All right. Today on our list of things to talk about, numero uno, a point that a lot of Canadians are very proud of, but I think we're missing the point here. The Trans Mountain Pipeline. Today there was an announcement that the Alberta government is going to take, I believe it was up to possibly a 50% stake in the Trans Mountain Pipeline. Now, I believe the Trudeau government and the Notley government were all heralded a little while back as to this is a great thing for Canada, but there's an underlying problem. What is the problem?
Well, the way I see it, George, is I had like hard-earned tax dollars paying to two governments
Yes.
to fight another government.
Yep.
Well, to buy a pipeline, to fight a government about a pipeline. It's just a circle of tax.
Yeah.
Fighting, paying. I'm not sure we're getting anywhere here.
I don't think we're getting anywhere, and there's a fundamental problem with the whole thing. You're right, just like you said, Jared, is that there comes a point where it's like our tax dollars are actually funding a fight between the provincial government of Alberta, the provincial government of British Columbia, and the federal government taking the Alberta government side. How did we get to this point?
I don't know. I'd say I don't see anyone yet putting the shovel in the ground. Or more importantly, a pipeline.
Yeah, exactly.
In the ground. That's the problem. I hope today's change. I hope it gets somewhere. I hope it does get some shovels in the ground, pipe in the ground, and get the oil where we need it.
For sure.
Or the gasoline.
Or the gasoline, or the LNG, the liquid natural gas, absolutely.
Where they need it. But we've got to get the pipeline in the ground. And all these governments fighting each other. Time to get things moving.
Well, totally time to get things moving, and more. And you know, a huge problem is that the fact is that we have a president to the south of us that, well, guys, there's something called tariffs that he's throwing on us. It's probably incredibly fundamental. Probably the only thing that Mr. Trudeau said that actually makes sense is that, well, thanks to Mr. Trump, we need to find new markets for our products. Because if we're not going to have that great relationship with the United States, we probably best be getting off our high horses, British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, or Ottawa, and let's figure this out, boys and girls.
Get it sidewall to sell it to someone who wants it.
Exactly.
Maybe we can use Canadian steel now in the pipeline. If we can't send that south, maybe we can send out the pipeline with Canadian steel.
Excellent point, Mr. Morrison. That's why the man is a chief. Anyway, next thing.
I don't know about that.
Yes, excellent. We're going to talk about the Canada Pension Plan. Something really interesting happened today. I believe the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board, their private equity part, has bought a financial stake, or is about to buy a 39% financial stake in a sports betting, sports gambling. I don't know exactly if it's a complete sports gambling site, but they provide sports gambling
So the more
services.
I gamble, the better off I am in retirement? Is that the message to Canadians? If you gamble more, you'll be better off when you're in retirement. There we go.
I'm sure the Western Canadian Lottery Corporation, the OGLC, and all those guys probably would suggest something along those lines.
Gamble today for tomorrow's security. Is that it?
I'd like to believe that's not the case, but
seems to be the message.
Yeah, it
I
seems
think you can smoke dope and gamble today, all for tomorrow's betterment.
Yeah, actually.
How does that play out? Are they going to buy into that as well?
Yeah, what's going on here, Government of Canada? We are now legalizing marijuana And, well, I guess we've always had legalized gambling. Although,
but now we're encouraging it with our savings.
Yes, now, yeah, we're trying to become profiteers off of it now. Maybe a little bit more. I think people are going to gamble anyway. Maybe that's the analogy. People are like, hey, forget it. We're going to gamble anyway, so may as well the Canada Pension Board, figure that out.
Roll the dice, baby.
Exactly, roll the dice.
Anyway. That is a strange one. I got to say, I understand the returns from the gambling industry. It just, to me, it feels a little strange to have the pension plan buying into the gambling industry. Or maybe they've run the numbers, huh?
Yes, maybe they have run the numbers. I'm not 100% sure. But that does lead us into a different kind of topic about the Canada Pension Plan and maybe about pensions in general. One of the things that happens when you work for a company is that you do get a pension. But in the last few years, a lot of people have become sole proprietors.
A lot of self-employed.
Self-employed numbers are up. Well, when you become self-employed, guess what? You're probably not thinking too much about your pension. Chances are your company is probably not thinking too much about your pension.
No.
Which kind of leads us into registered retirement plans, TFSAs, things like that.
Yes.
Do you know any products that could fit into that, Mr. Morrison?
Yes, I do.
Oh, do tell.
Alta West has 3 products that would fit into that just nicely, George.
Oh, excellent. Scribe, tell us about these 3. Oh, yes, look at that. Thank you, Scribe. We forgot that part. Yes. We have
Except the backdrop, huh?
Yes.
Forgot the backdrop.
Yes, forgot the backdrop. We were all so excited about that. Alta West Capital. Yes. So we do have 3 products. We have a First Place Mortgage Fund, we have AWM Balanced Mortgage Fund, and we have a Diversified Mortgage Fund that do fit into all 3, into retirements, registered education, registered plans altogether.
Don't gamble your retirement. Put it in the Mac. Okay.
I'm not even sure I can say anything else. That was beautifully put. Oh, Lordy. Oh, boy.
First question. This is a low ball or a high ball, I'm not sure. What is a fiat currency?
A fiat currency is a currency that doesn't actually have a...
gold.
Yeah, it's not backed by gold.
That's what I said, there's no gold.
Yeah, there's no gold. It's actually not backed by gold. It's actually backed by the government. The government says it's like the United States dollar is saying it's like, hey, we'll print money and we will back our money as opposed to gold.
Cars.
The fiat, yeah. The fiat
I think it's backed
I think they're back now. I think people are making fiat cars. They're backed by
but it's not the currency.
Not American steel. Yeah. So it's a currency that's backed by the government as opposed to physically being backed by gold.
So what's the benefit of that?
Well, the benefit is you don't have to have the gold reserves anymore. So now we can actually
go along.
Yeah.
Quantitative ease.
And then the
ease away.
Yeah.
As
exactly.
they have done.
Yeah, it's basically, the government's basically all getting together and saying it's like, hey, we'll honor all the American dollars, you'll honor all the Canadian dollars, and it's the government itself. By the way, a little bit better than the gold because they have the power of taxation. If any of these countries ever wanted to, get more, funds or currency, or not currency, I should say, more dollars in their coffers, all they have to do is increase their taxes.
Okay, now, following this, there are 2 American states that have rejected this, and they are now accepting gold and silver as legal tender. What 2 states are those?
Gold and silver?
It's legal tender.
Is legal tender?
They have coins.
It's gotta be Texas and Alaska. Or yeah?
None of us know. I don't even know if that was a good question.
Yeah.
It's Arizona and Minnesota.
Arizona should have.
Oh, you mean desert?
Desert.
Yeah.
Oh, like
desert.
cactus and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
All right,
Not
fair
like
enough.
Alaska.
So wait a minute, they're accepting,
Colorado, that's mountains.
Yeah.
but they still have to accept the U.S. dollar.
Yeah,
by law they have
They
to.
also accept gold and silver.
I'm not sure if there's any place that wouldn't accept gold and silver.
I feel like, if you came up
If you came up with gold and silver,
they go,
if you wanted to make
You're
an
gonna
investment,
bite the coin just to test?
well, I don't know. It's like
but it's
Bitcoin.
they're printed like coins. The state is printed like gold coins and silver coins.
Oh, okay. So
Thanks,
really,
Russ.
so in that case, actually, yeah, the paper. You know how they always say it's like the dollar's not worth the paper it's written on. In that case, yeah, that coin is definitely worth what it's stamped on. Jared, I think we're gonna. Is that it? Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Jared, this was your first
It was.
Chiefs Financial podcast. What do you think?
I'm not sure I'll be back.
Alright, wait a minute.
I'm not sure I'll be
choice. Wait a minute.
Oh, I have to come back?
You have to come back.
All
We're
right,
gonna
then I'll be back. I loved it.
Yes,
It was
yes,
awesome.
yes.
Fantastic.
I'm that note, I don't know
They
what
could
more
open
to
with
say.
Chuck next time.
What? You did like this? Unbelievable. All right, we're just gonna go through this Trans Canada Mountain Pipeline. Not Trans Canada, damn it. It's good for Canada. We
It is.
need this. We
Stop
need
fighting governments.
Exactly. Stop fighting governments. Besides, I'm pretty sure most BC people would actually want it as well. This is ridiculous not to have it.
Cars. They like to get to work.
Exactly.
They like to live their lives.
Exactly. And by the way, it's the betterment of our society as a whole. There's transfer payments that leave Alberta. Hello. We need the Trans Mountain Pipeline. We talked about that. Canada Pension Plan.
Rolling the dice.
Literally. But don't roll the dice with your future. Okay? You need to have a plan, self-employed people. So make sure. Yes.
Invest wisely.
Invest wisely. Invest in your RRSP. Find products that will fit into your RRSP.
FSA.
Not pointing any fingers on anybody that would have RRSP products. Please talk to a registered representative. And
That's all we covered,
yeah, I think that's all we covered. On that note, have a good night.
Good night.